People are angry. They should be. Across the Western world, people are becoming increasingly dissatisfied with the direction of their countries. They see rising inflation, declining living standards, endless political scandals, and foreign policies that seem disconnected from the interests of ordinary citizens. Many look at modern society and feel that something is fundamentally wrong. People notice similarities between current conditions and the Weimar Republic. Others question why certain groups appear to have disproportionate influence over politics, media, finance, or foreign policy. They look back at decades of wars in the Middle East and elsewhere and ask whether these conflicts truly benefited the United States or Europe or some other influential and powerful group of people. For many, the answer seems obvious. Trillions were spent, countless lives were lost, and yet the problems seem worse than ever. At the same time, people feel overwhelmed by cultural and social changes. They are told who to hate, who to support, what to think, and what opinions are acceptable. Many feel disconnected from institutions that once commanded public trust. Traditional media, governments, corporations, and academic institutions are viewed with increasing suspicion. The rise of social media has only accelerated this process. For the first time in history, millions of people can access information directly without relying entirely on newspapers or television networks. They can compare narratives, discuss controversial topics, and share information with others across the world. They notice political messaging in movies, television shows, music, and video games. They see events in the Middle East and begin questioning the official explanations they have heard for years. They revisit historical events and ask difficult questions. Who are the good guys? Who are the bad guys? Were all these wars really necessary? Why were so many conspiracy theories later confirmed to be true? People also witness violent crime, political extremism, riots, gang activity, and social disorder. They see cases where criminals of particular ethnicities appear to escape accountability. They watch governments struggle to address serious issues while focusing on symbolic political battles. Understandably, this creates frustration, resentment, and distrust. And yes, all of this can radicalize people. But this is where some people make a terrible mistake. They go too far in a self-destructive direction. You should be angry. You should be questioning things. You should not trust the establishment. But being a Nazi is dumb. Not because modern democracy is perfect, it isn't. Far from it. Democratic systems are deeply flawed. Governments and elections are usually pointless. Powerful institutions should be scrutinized. Citizens should remain skeptical and informed. However, National Socialism is not the answer. The ideology is inherently destructive. It divided people into arbitrary categories of superiority and inferiority. It turned neighbors against neighbors. It committed enormous crimes not only against groups it considered enemies, but also against many of its own supposed allies and fellow Europeans. Entire populations were treated as lesser human beings. More importantly, National Socialism failed catastrophically. Why would anyone in the 21st century choose to identify with an ideology that led to one of the greatest disasters in human history? Why attach yourself to a movement remembered primarily for war, mass death, authoritarianism, and destruction? Even from a practical standpoint, it makes no sense. The moment you start wearing swastikas or calling yourself a Nazi, you immediately discredit yourself. Whatever legitimate concerns you may have about corruption, war, declining living standards, censorship, or government failures become overshadowed by the label you've chosen. You close doors that might otherwise have been open. You become associated with crimes and atrocities that most people rightfully reject. If your goal is meaningful change, becoming a Nazi guarantees failure. Today, more and more people are waking up to real problems. They see endless wars. They see inflation eroding their savings. They see declining standards of living. They see scandals involving powerful individuals and institutions. They see cultural decay and political incompetence. People are angry, but anger alone is not enough. If you allow your frustration to turn into hatred, you become part of the problem rather than part of the solution. The challenge is not to romanticize the past. The challenge is to build something better. A productive person focuses on improving their community, helping others, building strong families, creating honest institutions, and solving real problems. They adapt to reality instead of becoming trapped in resentment. They seek truth without becoming consumed by ideology. Being angry at the state of the world is understandable. Wanting change is understandable. Questioning powerful institutions is understandable. But if your response to all of that is becoming a Nazi, you've completely missed the point.